Mr. Murphy, reclaiming my time, let me cut this short.
Okay.
12.5% has been the royalty rate for drilling on public lands in the entire time that your family, 3 generations, have been oil barons. Now, since your grandfather started in this business, has drilling technology gotten more cost effective? Yes or no?
Yes.
All right, so it costs you less to drill. Why do you get to keep all of the savings rather than splitting that with taxpayers?
Just because technology has advanced, not necessarily, that doesn't necessarily mean that prices have come down. We can drill deeper and further than we could before, but maybe not less costly. And what I'm afraid of is that you've been misinformed as to what royalties are versus what profits are. What profits are.
Oh, Mr. Murphy, let me make clear to you that I understand the difference between a profit and a royalty. A royalty is a percentage of what you extract from the land. A profit is what you make after you've paid your expenses. But I want to ask you a question. Are you arguing that you can't afford to give taxpayers a bigger share of your profits from public? Sorry, are you arguing that you can't afford that increase in royalty rate on public land? Would that bankrupt your business?
What I am arguing is it's more expensive to operate on federal lands than it is to operate on state or fee lands. So when you take all things into consideration, when you take the increased cost of operating on federal lands plus the 12.5%, then it is more than it's taking a lot more than the royalty share that I have to pay on fee or state lands.
And I want to ask you about your membership in an organization called GOAL. Are you familiar with GOAL, sir?
I am.
Okay, so I looked up GOAL's mission statement, and it says what we believe. We believe elected officials should place the public interest above any private interest.
Mr. Chairman.
Please pause my time.
Thank you. It's a Congresswoman Herrell. I don't believe that question is germane to what we're discussing today. I think bringing private information and even calling my witness an oil baron is out of line, but these questions are going down the wrong path.
I understand, but I think members of Congress are given great latitude in the questions they're asked in all hearings, and I will give you the same kind of latitude.
Okay, you're a member of this organization called GOAL, which, Ms. Herrell, is about gas and oil. So it's pertinent to the topic of today's hearing. I looked up what GOAL believes, and it says, we believe elected officials should place the public interest above any private interest. Given that goal of your organization called GOAL, why should we not raise the royalty rate to whatever the market will bear? We haven't raised it in 100 years, so we don't really know what the market will bear. Aren't you asking us by keeping the royalty interest frozen to place the private interest of your company above the public interest of taxpayers?
I'm not asking that at all. And as a matter of fact, you're absolutely correct. The market will adjust for that. And that's why royalty payments typically, bonus payments on federal lands greatly exceed those on other lands. And so that is the market speaking. And I think they have spoken on that issue.
So you would encourage us to increase those bonus payments?
You don't get to, the federal government, it's an open market and bid process, which is the most competitive process that we know in our society. So everybody that has an opportunity to bid on leases, including yourself, or anyone on this panel, can go and bid on those leases, and they will be competing.
Mr. Murphy, I have one remaining question. How much of intangible drilling costs they're estimated to be between 60 to 90% of the cost of drilling. How much of those intangible drilling costs do you get to deduct right away from your taxes?
We get to deduct all of those just like any other business. We do not.
How much do you get to deduct?
There seems to be a misconception out there that you're operating from, that somehow the oil and gas industry benefits from some special sort of tax structure. We don't. We actually.
Reclaiming my time, Mr. Murphy.
Industry's right.
I will follow up with you, Mr. Murphy, but you do benefit from special rules. There's a special tax rule for intangible drilling costs that does not apply to other kinds of expenses that businesses have. You get to deduct 70% of your costs immediately, and other businesses have to amortize their expenses over their entire profit stream.
We also
So
have.
please don't patronize me by telling me that the oil and gas industry doesn't have any special tax provisions. Because if you would like that to be the rule, I would be happy to have Congress deliver. I yield back.